Hello again, I'm Rahena, and we are playing more of Gakuen Heaven 2. We're coming up on the last choice in Professor Sakaki's route, which doesn't affect the story at all, except in the sense that you get to see a little snippet of something with the student that you choose to speak to. Or rather, you decide who is present in the hallway when Sakaki is out there and kind of bumps into them. So this picks up immediately after he leaves the nurse's office, after talking to Tomo and Matsuoka about the rumors that his brother is spreading. So Tomo is not a choice here, and Yuki is not a choice here, but you do get to choose everybody else. I am going to play Joker first, and then I'll do Sonoda's, and then after that I'll kind of have a bit of a pause and let you guys know, okay, if you don't want spoilers, you can stop watching at this point. There's not major spoilers, but a little bit. I mean, it kind of hints at things that happen in the character routes, which really won't make any sense. You probably won't pick up on anything unless you've seen at least part of it. But if you're the kind of person who just doesn't like spoilers at all, I'll let you know when you can stop watching, so you can be completely safe there. So this picks up just right outside. With this, he'll be more diligent, at least a little. And this is him referring back to at the end of the previous scene where he told Tomo, you know, if you want to make things up to me, you know, get full marks on your next test. So.
Sateto.
Well then. Over there is... And here's our choices. I will go with Joker first.
Joker.
It's Jokawa.
Domo, Sakaki sensei.
Hello, Professor Sakaki.
Joker, お前は朝比奈に適当なことを言うんじゃない。
Jokawa, don't tell Asahina nonsense.
何のこと？
Huh, what do you mean?
とぼけるな。俺が教師を辞めるなんて嘘を朝比奈に吹き込んだだろう。
Don't play dumb. You fed him a lie about me quitting teaching.
ああ、そういえばそんなこと言ったような、言ってないような。
Oh, well, come to think of it, I may or may not have said something like that.
朝比奈がお前から聞いたと言っていたぞ。
Asahina told me he heard it from you.
でもデマだったんでしょ？それならいいじゃないですか。
But it was a false rumor, so it's alright.
そういう問題じゃない。
That's not the point.
そもそもあの情報はまだ外部に告知されていなかったはずだが。
Anyway, that information hadn't been announced to the outside yet, had it?
どうやって知ったんだ？
How did you know about it?
僕らにも独自の情報取得手段があるんですよ。
We have our own ways of gathering information.
大方、盗聴器や隠しカメラでも仕込んでるんだろう。
I expect you're planting bugs and hidden cameras.
やだな。カメラまでは仕掛けてないですよ。
Oh no, I wouldn't plant a camera.
密室じゃなければ大抵のことは見えるしね。
I can see most everything if it's not behind locked doors.
ということは、盗聴器は仕掛けてるってことか。
So that means you are planting bugs?
お前というやつは。
You're too much.
でもさ、今回みたいに勝手に僕たちの学園の存亡の危機があるかもしれないでしょ。
But you could selfishly put the existence of our school in a crisis like before.
その自衛手段としてこのくらい当然だと思うけど。
I think it's only natural to do that much as a means of self-defense.
これでも一応生徒たちをまとめるデュラックのトップの立場の自覚はあるからね。
I may not look it, but I am conscious of being in the top position of Durak who brings together the students.
それに
And besides...
なんだ？
What?
またこの間みたいに面白いことが起こらないとも限らないでしょ。
It's possible there might be something fun like before, right?
そのためにも常にアンテナを張っておかないとね。
For that, I always have to have an antenna up.
ジョーカーは。
Something fun, that Bell 1 ruckus? This guy, in the same breath as talking about the crisis over the school's existence.
だいたいさ、これまで英字を使った先生の策に僕も乗ってあげてたんだよ。このくらい多めに見てよ。
Anyway, since I went along so far with your plan of using Eiji, you can overlook at least that much.
まったく呆れたやつだな。
Jeez, you're unbelievable.
とりあえずやるならバレないような範囲でやれよ。
Anyway, if you're going to do it where you won't be exposed.
目に余るようなら俺も教師としての責任を果たす羽目になる。
If it's too much to tolerate, I'll be in a bind having to fulfill my responsibility as a teacher. I mean, I guess in the sense of not letting students go around planting bugs and stuff all over the school.
ご忠告どうも。
Thanks for the advice.
そうそう。今度生徒全員参加のベルワンやろうと思ってるんだよね。
Oh, right. I was thinking of having a Bell 1 with students and all the staff participating next time.
エース君の戦いを見て参加したいって思った人が多かったみたいだからさ。
It seems there were a lot of people who wanted to join after seeing Ace-kun fight.
その時は先生も協力してね。
When it happens, you cooperate too, okay? Jeez, he's unbelievable. It's true that he's an excellent student, but that part about not valuing anything except what's fun is dangerous in a way. But in the end, he allied himself with Asahina by his own judgment. And that includes Sonoda. I guess he has his own sense of justice.
楽しむのは結構だが大人に尻拭いされない範囲でやれよ。
It's fine to have fun, but don't make it so that the adults have to clean up your mess.
はーい。肝に銘じときます。
Right, I'll keep that in mind. And that ends the scene with Joker, so I'm going to go back to the previous choice. And you can choose whoever you want again. I mean, if you really want to watch Joker again, you can do that. But we are going to do Sonoda, because he's the other character route that we've completed here.
園田か。
That's Sonoda.
どうも、榊先生。
Hello, Professor.
自分への折り合いはついたのか？
Have you come to terms with yourself?
折り合い？
Come to terms?
まあ、一応ね。
Yeah, well, somewhat, you know.
正直、先生やキヨには言いたいことが山ほどあるけどさ。
Honestly, I have a mountain of stuff I want to say to you and Kyo.
ああなっちゃったら、折り合いをつけるっていうか、つけざるを得ないでしょ。
Since it ended up like that, I had no choice but to come to terms.
結果は決まっちゃったんだしさ。
The result was already determined. Obviously referring to how there was no way he could have won in the Bell one.
あれ以外に、俺がどうにかできる手段なんて思いつかないって。
Apart from that, I can't think of a way to do anything about it.
大人になったじゃないか。
You've grown up.
まったくさ、そんなことよく言えるよな。 俺のこと散々利用してきたくせに。
Geez, you're one to talk, even though you completely used me.
まあ許せ。結果オーライだ。
Well, forgive me, it turned out alright.
それにお前もいい勉強になったと思え。
Think of it as a good lesson.
ひどい大人だよな。
You're a cruel adult.
本当なら思いっきり殴ってるところだっての。
Normally, I'd be giving you a good beating.
じゃあなぜ殴らないんだ？
Then why aren't you? And again, you can kind of see the playfulness between the two here. Their tone of voice is kind of playful, a little more than usual.
あれから父さんに会えたんだ。
After that, I met my father.
とりあえずもろもろの遺恨は水に流そうと思ったってわけ。
Anyway, I thought I'd let all my grudges be water under the bridge.
いつまでも過去を見てるわけにもいかないしさ。
I can't always be looking at the past.
今度は俺の店を持つことを目標にでもしようと思って。
I thought I'd make it my goal to have my own restaurant next time.
先を見ることにしたってわけか。
So you're going to look to the future?
まあね。
Pretty much.
それに考え方を変えれば、この学園は将来自分が店を持つためのいい練習場だって分かったし。
Besides, I realized that if I change my way of thinking, this school is a good place to practice for having my own restaurant in the future. Which is just what Yuki said to kind of encourage him to come back.
何より、俺の料理を食べたいって待ってくれてる人がいるからさ。
More than anything, since there are people waiting to eat my cooking here.
そりゃよかった。
I'm glad.
これで俺はお前の愚痴を聞く必要がなくなったな。
Now I won't have to listen to your complaining.
とりあえず今いる友達は大切にしとけよ。ついでに 今度一食サービスしろ。
Anyway, treasure the friends you have now, and next time treat me to a free meal.
はあ？それ逆だろ？
Huh? Isn't that backwards?
俺のこれまでの働き分は何かで返せよな。
Give me something back for the work I've done up till now.
わかったわかった。
Alright, alright.
とりあえず最低でもホテルディナー1回くらいはおごらせるから覚えとけよ。
To begin with, I'm making you treat me to at least one hotel dinner, so remember it.
どうだろうな。最近物忘れが激しくなってな。
We'll see. My memory's getting terrible recently.
この悪徳教師。
You corrupt teacher. Somehow it seems like he's gotten over it. I always believed he'd be unable to be a villain, but this school has certainly been a good influence on him. Probably just me and Jokawa wouldn't have been able to change him so much. This is thanks to him, too. Obviously referencing Yuki. Sonoda was pretty much repeating the things that Yuki said to him in there. So this is just a little taste for each character of what happens to them after the Bell one, after whatever it is that happens in their ending. And again, remember as we go through here, this is it's kind of like a weird alternate universe where the things that happen in each character's love ending are kind of implied to be the things that have happened. But Yuki's not romantically involved with anyone, which is why he's free. So it's a little strange, but if you just kind of go with it, so you're like, okay, we got the love ending for Sonoda, where Yuki successfully brings him back, gets him to start cooking again, and all that kind of good stuff, but somehow Yuki's not with him. But he still has the good effects of Yuki's good attitude and helping him out and all that kind of stuff. You can see that he has begun to change a little bit. Okay, if you're watching and you don't want any spoilers, this is the place where you want to stop. I'm going to go back again, and now we're going to be going through boys whose character roots I have not completed yet. So, again, not major spoilers, but it might be a good idea to skip them if you're just kind of wary of spoilers. So, if you're watching and you don't want spoilers, stop now. If you don't mind spoilers, at least a tiny bit, then let's carry on. Next character is Chiba, and this is my favorite.
Chiba. あと、伊藤先生?
And Professor Ito.
ダメだって千葉くん、教室に戻って。
You can't, Chiba. Come back to the classroom.
部活だから無理だ。
I have club, so it's impossible.
だからダメだって。世界史の赤点補習なんだから逃げたりしないで。
I'm saying you can't. These are remedial classes for failing world history, so don't run away.
自分は逃げない。
Myself is not running.
そっか、じゃあ。
Oh, then.
今日の稽古が終わったら行く。
I'll go after today's practice is finished.
補習ってそういうもんじゃない。
That's not how remedial classes work.
行かせないからな。
I'm not letting you leave.
邪魔です。
You're in the way.
邪魔でもなんでもダメなんだって。
Whether I am or not, you can't.
世界史って最初が肝心なんだぞ。中世ヨーロッパ史でつまずいたら絶対にこの先困るんだから。
In world history, starting off right is essential. If you stumble on the history of Europe in the Middle Ages, you'll definitely run into trouble later.
とにかく教室に戻って俺と一緒に勉強しような。
Anyway, come back to the classroom. Let's study together, okay? I love how he's just so desperate to get Chiba to come back.
そんな暇はない。
I don't have time for that.
勉強が好きになれない気持ちはわかるけど、今やっとかないと将来困るのは千葉くんなんだぞ。
I understand your feelings of not wanting to study, but if you don't do it now, you'll be the one who suffers in the future.
勉強ができなくても困らない。
It doesn't bother me that I can't do my studies.
困るって、俺だって困ったんだから。
Bother you? I'm the one who's bothered.
絶対に後からあの時もうちょっと頑張ってたらなって思うもんなんだから。
You'll absolutely look back and think, if only I'd tried a little harder back then.
思わない。
I will not. He has no idea what to do with this crazy kid.
とにかく
Anyway,
今日はゲルマン民族大移動のところまでで終わりにしてあげるから、それだけでも一緒に頑張ろう。
today we'll just go up to the German migration period, so let's do our best together. Just that much.
そこまで終わったら部活行っていいから。
If we finish up to there, you can go to your club.
無理だ。大会が近い。
Impossible. The tournament's coming up.
まずは部活だ。
Club is first.
だから
I'm telling you. They're never going to agree. Chiba doesn't think that he needs to study. And with someone like that, explaining about the importance of remedial classes is useless. With him, it's probably useless as long as Jokawa doesn't order him to do it. That's a heavy burden for Professor Ito. Can't be helped.
おい、千葉。
Hey, Chiba.
あ、榊先生。
Oh, Professor Sakaki. He's like, thank God you came to rescue me.
そんなに勉強が嫌なら、今のうちに片付けてしまって、さっさと卒業しろ。
If you hate studying that much, get organized and hurry up and graduate.
お前の成績じゃサボっていると落第しかねないぞ。
If you slack off on your grades, you might even fail.
そうなると、1年余計に学園にいることになる。
If that happens, you'll be at school an extra year.
落第。
Fail.
そうだよ、千葉くん。落第なんかしたら嫌だろ。
That's right, Chiba. You don't want to fail, do you?
さあ、先生と一緒に教室に行こう。
Come on, let's go to the classroom together. With this, even he will attend the remedial classes.
自分は赤点で構いません。
Myself doesn't mind failing.
じゃあ。
Bye.
千葉くん
Poor Keita.
嘘ちょっと待ってって
Huh? No way. Hold it. I said wait.
あ、すみません、榊先生。俺、失礼します。
Sorry, Professor Sakaki. Excuse me.
千葉くん
I can just imagine him screaming as he runs down the hallway. What was with Chiba? Does he have some reason he wants to fail? I don't get it. Jeez. And it's not really explicitly stated or anything, but I think he might be tempted to be held back a year so he can spend more time with Yuki. And that may not necessarily be in a romantic way, that may just be in a cute way. Like, he's just fond of Yuki. But I won't speculate too much since we haven't done his character route yet. Let's go back. Alright, who's next? We've got Takato.
Takato か。よう、Takato。
Hey, Takato.
こんにちは、榊先生。
Hello, Professor Sakaki. And you can just see from his pose and expression he's not too thrilled.
どうだベルワンで少しは理事会への不満も解消されたか
So how is it? With the Bell one, has your frustration with the board been reduced a little? Because remember, Takato is an older student. He's been here throughout the time that Sakaki has been assistant director, so he... And, he was also friends with Now. He and Kuya got to spend some time with him, so I'm sure they saw Sakaki a bit since he and Now not only worked together, but they were friendly.
いえ、別に。
Not really.
理事会が本当に変わるかどうか、まだわかりませんので。
I still don't know if the board will truly change or not, which is a reasonable, worry.
そうか。
I see. He never changes.
校風を作るのは生徒かもしれません。
Students may make the school traditions.
ですが、その生徒を選ぶのは結局のところあなた方です。
But in the end, the ones who choose the students are you, referring to the board.
何が言いたい
What are you trying to say?
教師であろうと副理事であろうと、あなた方は生徒より長くこの学園に居続ける。
Whether as teachers or as assistant director, you, and that's kind of like a collective you, referring to the staff and teachers and the board and things like that, have stayed at the school longer than the students.
ならば、ご自分たちの責任は放棄しないでいただきたい。
Then I'd like all of you not to abdicate your responsibilities.
私たちの卒業後、この学園も自分がいた頃とはすっかり変わってしまったと。
So that after we graduate and we think that the school has completely changed from when we were here.
そんな感想を抱いて嘆くようなことのないよう、義務は果たしてください。
Please fulfill your duty so that we can feel that and have nothing to lament. So it's the suggestion that the school has changed, but in a good way, when the students leave, they come back again, say for a reunion or something, to get the feeling that the school has, it's changed, it's not exactly the same, but it's improved instead of getting worse, which he's kind of implying that the board is kind of pushing in that direction.
期待していますので。
I'll be looking forward to it.
では。
Well then.
言いたいことだけ言っていったが。
So he just said what he wanted to say. It's his usual hostile attitude, but I'll keep his expectations in mind. So it's a little more of a serious one. Not all of them can be comic relief. Let's back up. That's the end. So that's a pretty brief one.
Yagami か。
So here's Yagami.
悪い。今当たったよな。
Oh, sorry. Did I hit you?
ああ、楽器を持ってるんだからもっと気をつけろ。
Yeah, be more careful when you're carrying an instrument.
だから悪いってちょっと考え事をしててよ。
I said I was sorry. I was just thinking about stuff. Did he not hear me when I called to him? Come to think of it, he does have residual damage in one ear from an accident. He's been late or absent from class several times because of going to the hospital.
なんだよ、榊。まだなんかあんのか？ちゃんと謝っただろ。
What is it, Sakaki? You still have a problem? I apologized, didn't I?
いや、
No.
耳の調子はどうだ？
How's your ear?
ああ、耳ね。
Oh, my ear.
手術受けることにしたわ。
I decided to get surgery.
そうか。
I see.
わざわざ聞いてくるってことは、あんたうちの母親から手術拒否してるって聞いてたんか？
Since you're asking about it, did you hear from my mother that I was refusing surgery?
ああ、これでも担任なんでな。
Yeah, I am in charge after all.
ま、そういうわけなんで、近いうちに休みとくからよろしく。じゃあね。
Well, because of that, I'll be taking a vacation soon, so thanks in advance. See ya. I like his little humming there. Come to think of it, when I was tutoring Asahina, he said something about singing in Yagami's band. His defiant attitude seems to have lessened, so something about him has changed too. And actually, that's kind of the most spoiler-heavy one there. Yeah. I'll put a note in the comments saying, especially don't watch Yagami's part if you don't want anything spoiled. The other ones are not that explicit, but that one's pretty just way out there. Just bam. Anyway. Alright, so back to the menu, and I'm just kind of going through my notes here to make sure I'm in the right spot. Next is Kuya. This is a cute one.
Sagimori.
Sagimori.
やあ、榊先生。グーテンターク。
Hey, Professor Sakaki. Guten Tag.
お前はいつも楽しそうだな。
You seem to be enjoying yourself as usual.
もちろん。
Of course.
この学園では毎日が刺激に満ち溢れている。
Every day is full of thrills at this school.
楽しくないはずがない。
There's no way not to enjoy it.
それとも先生は楽しくないんですか？
Or, Professor, are you not having fun?
楽しいばかりじゃないさ。
It's not all fun.
それは辛いですね。
That's rough.
同情されるほどじゃない。誰だってそんなものだ。
Not enough for sympathy. It's like that for everyone.
お前ももう少し成長すればわかるさ。
You'll understand when you're a little older.
いや、そんなことはありません。俺はずっと楽しいままだ。
God, I love Kuya. No, that won't happen. I'll always enjoy myself.
きっと一生
My whole life, I'm sure.
そうやって生きていきますから。
Since that's how I live.
そりゃよかったな。
Well, that's good.
ああ、
Yeah.
20年後にぜひとも同じセリフを聞きたいものだ。
I'd like to hear you say the same thing in 20 years. You're so grumpy. God. Just like anyone who's overly happy, just let me shoot you down.
いいとも。
Fine.
だったら20年後に同窓会をやりましょう。
Then let's have a class reunion in 20 years.
同窓会？
Class reunion.
会場はここがいい。この学園だ。
As for the place, here's fine. It'll be at the school.
20年後といえばみんないい大人だ。きっと面白いぞ。
If we're talking about 20 years, everyone will be an adult. I'm sure it'll be interesting.
そうだ。その日のために今からタイムカプセルを埋めておこう。
Oh, I know. Let's bury a time capsule now for that day.
うん。我ながらグッドアイデアじゃないか。
Yeah, it's a good idea if I do say so myself.
榊先生も一緒にいかがです？タイムカプセル。
Why don't you do it with me, Professor Sakaki? The time capsule.
遠慮する。
I'll pass. Ah, Kuya, he's so cute.
そうですか。それは残念。
Really? That's a shame.
クーヤさん、そろそろ行きますよ。
Kuya, it's time to go.
お、しまった。
Oops.
それでは榊先生、俺はこれで失礼します。
Well then, Professor Sakaki, I'll be going now. Excuse me.
でも、同窓会には必ず出席してくださいね。
But please be sure to attend the class reunion.
おい。
Hey.
というわけで、榊先生、それまでこの学園をよろしく。
Which means until then, take care of the school.
ユウキ、またすぐ聞いてくれ。
Yuki and Masatsugu, listen to this.
たった今、榊先生と素晴らしい計画を立てたんだ。
Just now I made a wonderful plan with Professor Sakaki.
おい。
Hey,
あいつ。
that boy. I don't know what he's talking about, but he sure is having fun. With them, it's possible that no matter how many years pass, they may always have fun. Three stooges on the student council. If it's them. So that's Kuya's. And the final one is Arata's.
みなせ。
Minase.
あ、こんにちは。
Oh, hello.
そして、さようなら。
And goodbye. Well, I haven't had him in my class, but he's rather enigmatic.
あ、そうだ。
Oh, that's right.
ねえねえ、榊先生。
Hey, hey, Professor Sakaki.
何か用か？
What do you need?
ちょっとね。
Well, nothing much. He has his pet with him again.
一個、質問。
Just one question.
数学についての質問か？
Is it a question about math?
まさか、新たはレギュラークラスだもん。
Of course not. Arata's in the regular class.
アルティメットの榊先生に数学で聞くことなんてないない。
I'd never ever ask the ultimate class teacher, Professor Sakaki, about math.
じゃあなんだ？
Then what is it?
ベルワンって裏で何かあったのかなって。
I was wondering if there was something behind the bell one.
裏？
Behind?
学園なくしちゃいます
The school's being closed.
なんておっきなこと言い出した割には、エース君がベルワンで勝てば返上なんてずいぶん優しいなって思ったりして。
With as big an announcement as that was, I thought it was awfully nice to give it up if Ace-kun won the bell one.
もしかして一般生徒には知らない裏の裏の内緒の何かがあったのかな。
I wondered if there was some deep dark secret that the general students didn't know about.
みなせ。
あ、いいのいいの。
Oh, never mind, never mind.
あ？
一般生徒には言えない大人の事情
It's an adult situation that can't be told to the
あるん
students,
でしょ。
isn't it?
別に本当のことを教えてほしいわけじゃない。
I don't really want you to tell me the truth.
ただこれだけは知っといてほしいなって。
Only I want you to know this.
なんだ？
What is it?
あの時もしかしたら自分たちの学園がなくなっちゃうかもって。
Well, that time wondering if our school would close.
そういうストレス生徒のみんなに与えちゃったって。
Really stressed out all the students.
それくらいは榊先生も理事会の人も分かってるよね。
You and the board know that, don't you?
そうだな。
I guess so.
だったらそれ忘れないで。
Then don't forget it.
みなせ。
あれはほんの数週間の出来事。
That event only took a few weeks.
それでもあの時大事な試合やコンクール前って生徒いっぱいいたんだ。
But during that time, there were a lot of students who were about to have important matches and contests.
まあそんなこと大人にとっては仕方ないことかもしれないけど。
Well, that sort of stuff may not matter to adults, however.
新が言いたかったのはそれだけ。
That's all Arata wanted to say.
先生は責任取ってこれからもいい授業をしてね。
Take responsibility, Professor, and teach well from now on.
ま、新は榊先生の授業多分受けることないと思うけど。
Well, even though Arata probably won't be taking your class.
じゃあね、榊先生。
Bye, Professor Sakaki. And that's probably like the ferret equivalent of F you. I thought he was just an eccentric person who took his ferret to swim club, but he's a person who can speak his own opinion like that. Or did something about him change during the Bell one? So, little interesting side of Arata. We get to see him being, you know, even though he's still kind of sing-song, kind of cute, he can be very serious about things. So it's kind of like the deadly cute person there, which is an interesting contrast between what we think of Arata with our limited interactions with him so far, since we haven't done his character route, and what we see here. He's got a bit of steel in him, so. And that concludes all of those, and I'll just finish up this scene because it's very brief. Something has changed. Something inside the students at this school. Is it because they overcame the crisis of the school closing that had the whole school in an uproar? No, it's probably not just that. But if that situation became an opportunity for each student to change in some way,
このくだらない茶番劇にも少しは意味があったってことかもしれないな。
then maybe there was a little meaning in that ridiculous farce. If that's true, maybe it can atone for dragging everyone into it.
さすがにそれは都合が良すぎるか。
Of course, that would be too convenient. And that ends the scene. So, a nice look at all the students and their opinions of what has gone on with the Bell One, you know, how that's affected the other students, how it's affected them personally. Little hints, or in Yagami's case, very explicit reference to things that happen in their character roots. But it's nice to get that little hint of perspective on everyone, because obviously we're spending a lot of time with Yuki in this character route, and also Tomo because of the relationship between director, assistant director. Of course they work together. So it's good to see that everyone gets at least a small amount of time to kind of shine, and for us to see that they are all doing okay now. Because just like Tomo and Joker and Sonoda, everyone's got an issue in this game. So being able to see that everyone has somehow grown, developed, had an opportunity to get over whatever problem they had, you know, kind of with the Bell One, and interacting with Yuki as the catalyst for that is good. So that was extremely long. I'm going to stop here because this is going to launch us into another extremely long scene. I have no idea how long it's going to take to do this next one. This scene coming up is the heart of Sakaki's route. We will find out what his backstory is, what his issue is, why is he so bitter at the ripe old age of 27? Why is he so touchy about certain things? Why doesn't he like the school? Why is he constantly going on about this place is, you know, it's great, but there's so few people who can take advantage of that. Why is that such a sticking point for him? Well, all the questions you have, and probably then some, will be answered here. So I'm going to stop, and I will continue with the new scene next time. So I hope you'll enjoy it. This is kind of what we've been building up to, what you've been looking forward to, and I'm really happy to finally be here. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.